And roll call attendance.
Ms. Evans. Here. Mr. Henderson.
Here.
Mr. Comer.
Here.
Mr. Call.
Here.
Mr. Sauls.
Here.
Mr. Buchanan.
Here.
If we can have a moment of silence, please. Okay. Citizens' time is up next. Sanders Henderson.
My name's James Sanders Henderson III. I live at 27205 Poor Valley Road. I know I'm not in town, but I'm the interim principal at Northwood High School right now, along with Ms. Fallon Grinstead, and Mr. Hipple is on leave. I don't know when he'll be back, but I wanted to come tonight to thank the town council for some help we had during our first week, our first football game. We had a little bit of trash on the far side. Our custodians were trying to get the field and everything prepped to make it look real good for our first game, and we had some folks from the town to help us out there. Also, I'd like to thank the town council and everyone in town for all you do for our high school, and we're here to help. We want to be part of Saltville and help you out any way we can. We have an art classes up there. Anything you dealing with history, you know, our teachers are real good, and we want to make sure that you know we're there anytime. I want to thank Chief. The other day, Sergeant Call had one of your officers come through the school, walking in through the school, and I talked to Councilman Cannon at the ball game the other night, and I think we've got all that squared away where you guys know if you'll be a first responder with helping Sergeant Call. So if there's anything we can do for you at Northwood High School, now you'll say, well, that old boy went to Patrick Henry, but I did all my little league and everything up here. I played little league up here, and I worked in Smith County schools for now over, if you want to count my interim time, it's probably about 15 years now. I'm retired, but that's the reason I do it is because I love Smith County and they were good to me, and I want to give back to not only Saltville but Smith County and the students at Northwood High School. And we are having our homecoming parade on Wednesday next week. So if there's anything we can do to help you with I know the Historical Beautification Committee will be talking about that. So you just call us and let us know if there's anything we can do to help with that. So thank y'all for all you do for the town and the students at Northwood High School. Like I said, we're there anytime you need us. Thank you, ma'am.
Up next, Mackenzie McGee. And beside it, it says maybe.
Okay. Hello, Mayor and Council. I'm Mackenzie, and I don't live in town, but I live right on the line, so technically I've always said that I'm from Saltville. So, anyways, I just wanted to address something that's been on my mind and my heart lately, and it's really made me mad as someone that sees the beauty and potential in Saltville, taking things to social media that doesn't pertain the town. I really think it's disrespectful from everyone involved, and I feel like that we have, as a community, have taken out the importance and the value of what we are all trying to do, and that is to make the town better. We're supposed to respect our mayor. We don't always have to agree with her, but we should respect her. We should respect our police officers, even if we don't agree with them. And we all should support each other, because no matter what, the main goal is to make Saltville better. I know I'm not an adult. I know I haven't experienced much of life yet, but I think it's pretty absurd that you act like children on the internet. So I just want to say thank you all for your hard work with the committees and the things that you all have done this past year since, gaining office. Thank you, Mayor, for the things that you stand for. And I support you 100%. I may not always agree with you, but I support each and every one of you. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on, amendment and approval of the agenda. I do apologize, but both Ryan and I, and maybe others, need to add to the agenda. Since I have to and you have to, should we just make a list? do you want me to read yours?
That's fine. I've got to leave at 8:15, so I try to ask if we could address it early on. One is the derelict property ordinance, and then the second one is the ETSU dig, which is coming up at the end of the month.
And I need to add training with Paul Castle, our attorney. And I also I got an email late this afternoon from the Civil War reenactment gentleman, John Weinbarger, with a question of needing some help. Hopefully Brandon will be here by then. Is there any other agenda items that need to be added? Do I have a motion to add and approve the agenda, adding Weinbarger, training, derelict property, and ETSU dig?
I'll move.
Second,
Second.
roll call vote.
Ms.
Oh.
Abramson?
Any other discussion? Questions on these? Roll call vote.
Ms. Abramson? Mr. Henderson?
Aye.
Mr. Comer?
Aye.
Mr. Call?
Aye.
Mr. Sauls?
Aye.
And Mr. Buchanan?
Aye.
All right, approval of the minutes for the regular meeting, August 12th, 2025, the work session meeting, August 26th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve both of those minutes?
I'll move.
Second,
I'll second with some suggestions for corrections.
okay.
On page 4, section E of the August 12th minutes, Councilman Saul's name and votes missing from the minutes. You voted after that.
Any other?
Yes, August 26th, page 10 in our packet. I was present for the 26th meeting.
Any other?
Yes, page 16, the ordinance, which was, let me get back. For, the expenditures budgeted be appropriated. The second paragraph, whereas pursuant to subsection 15.2-2503 of the Code of Virginia 1950 is amended, the town council of the town of Chilhowie approved and adopted. That should be town of Saltville.
Any others?
No,
Your motion with those amendments?
that's my, yes.
Any, do we have a second?
You already had it.
That was my
He
second.
seconded the motion.
But he added the
With,
amendments.
with,
Okay,
Ryan made the motion.
okay. Any other changes, discussion, questions? Roll call vote.
Ms. Emerson? Mr. Henderson?
Aye.
Mr. Comer?
Aye.
Mr. Call?
Aye.
Mr. Sauls?
Aye.
And Mr. Buchanan?
On August the 26th only. I wasn't present for the 12th.
Okay.
Okay. Committee reports. First up is Historical and Beautification Committee, Councilwoman Abrams.
Okay. My last meeting was on August 20th, 6:30 PM. We did have a quorum. Myself, members Linda Gillespie, Powell Clark, Tim Henry, and Trina Collins. 2 members not in attendance, and we did not have any guests that evening. We talked about a few things. I'll try to get through it quickly, because I know we want to move swiftly here. Salt Park and Blacksmith Shop Repair. Sarah's kind of been spearheading that and speaking with John Weinberger. That's likely gonna be a spring 2026 project, since we're getting a little later in the year, but it is still on our radar. Some work that still needs to be done, can be done before the end of the year, would be the Triangle First Avenue, so we're still working on that. We just need to pull weeds, bag them, and the town crew, Brandon has agreed that they can pick those up for us. one of the biggest things that we had done, I know, was the shrub removal and the weeding and the mulching in the town commons area prior to Labor Day. That was a team effort with, the Historical Beautification Committee and the Public Works Department, all of the Public Works Department, to spruce that up a little bit. We still have some work to do, but that's what we, could manage to get done before the end of the year, but we do have some plans to do even more going into next year. But I did want to say a huge thank you to the Public Works Director Brandon Fry and his crew, Jim Wyatt, Dave Carnival, Steve Henniger, Rebecca Chapman, Zach Waddle, Drew Carnival, Shannon Call, Scotty Shelton, and Jordan Fry. And of course, our committee members present were Sarah Gillespie, Teresa Collins, Kyle Clark, Tim Henry, volunteers, Bill Collins, David King, and Tracy Prater. So we had a good crew up there with those 80-plus bags of mulch. And once they were able to get all those shrubs out, so we were real happy with that. I hope everybody else is as well. Again, there's still some work we want to continue to do there. The raised beds on the Salt Trail, we still have plans to get those painted. Crystal Presnell worked up a quote for us that we're still working on that. It may happen next year as well. Bear-proof trash cans, we talked about that for the well fills and maybe for the lookout. We're hoping that we can search and look for some grants to help cover that cost. And we're still making some progress on this Christmas snowflakes, so we would like to leave those up a little longer and change them all white. So we're still checking on the cost for that and making sure that's going to fit into our committee budget. No littering signs. I spoke with Councilman Call, who's chair of the Streets and Roads Committee, as well as Brandon Fry, our Public Works Director. And so we're working on hopefully getting some no littering signs up throughout the town. That would be nice. What else? Benches. Noticing that our benches in the town commons area do need some updating and maybe just replacing. Again, that's a 2026 project. And we have some ideas coming from our committee about helping Tammy with planning the Christmas parade. It's coming up December 6th, so we'll talk more about those specifics after we have our meeting coming up on the 17th. And I would also like to invite Councilman Call, if he is able to attend that meeting on the 17th at 6:30, and we can talk a little bit more about placement of those signs. And that's all I have. Any questions from anyone?
Thank you. Wellfields, Parks and Recreation, Wave Pool and Salt Trail Committee, Councilman Sauls.
Yeah, just a quick thing on the wave pool. We finished up at just under $45,000 for the year. It was 44 something. I don't have that iPad in front of me. We started off, the first week was horrible. The last 2 weeks were horrible. We just could not get any traction, couldn't get any customers there simply because of the rain and cold weather. But I think we had a fairly good year. Our lifeguards had to stop the waves twice, and that was it. And that was just little kids that were, so there was no issues up there. They did a super job. Can't brag on that staff enough. We did make a donation to the bingo. Amy?
Yes, I fixed that up.
Okay. Do you know who that was? I mean, I know
Amber Tarpon.
but I know they were doing it for Northwood Middle School and Northwood High School basketball.
Yes.
So we did donate a wave pool pass for next year for them, so they could have that as a bingo prize. Other than that, as far as the committee, there is, we didn't meet last week simply because of Town and Country Barbecue, but I do want to address something, and it goes back to what Mackenzie said. There was a post on Facebook that said something about us going and getting a part, asking the salt plant for a donation, after I said something about donations from the salt plant for the shelter and pickleball courts. And that need to be addressed. Yes, I did go and ask the salt plant, ask the pool manager. Before I went, I sat down in Cecile's office and asked her what she thought. So.
I was involved.
It was your husband that posted it.
You asked me to go with you?
No, you asked to go.
No.
Second of all, I asked, okay? When you addressed the salt plant about the pickleball courts, which were already taken care of, We had already appropriated funds through this council to build those. You did not ask the town manager.
The town manager was in the meeting.
Did you ask her before?
They asked what they could do.
No, you run up to them and said, I need you to build me a shelter.
I did not. I did
That's
not.
just more,
I did not. Cecile and I were in the meeting with Marcy, Chris, and I don't know who the older gentleman was. Do you remember?
yeah.
That was all that was in the meeting. You're friends with Chris? Ask him.
I went,
Feel
and I
free.
spoke to him. And a couple other people there.
Feel free. There were 5 in the meeting. That's 5 people you can call and ask.
I have talked to him, okay?
But you have to throw me under the bus too,
I'm
as
not
well on
throwing
the
you.
wave part, because I was with you. You asked me to go in Cecile's office, Carrie. You asked me
You
to go.
said I will go with you
You
if
did
you
not.
want me to.
No, I did not. No.
Okay. You know
You
what?
said, will you go with me? Will you meet me up there? And I said, yes, I will. When do you want me there? I will text you. You texted me and I was there within 10 minutes.
The way I remember it, you said, I will go if you want me to, and I said, that's
No,
fine.
no, I did not. We were in Cecile's office. I'm not asking you to say a word, by the way,
And I'm not going to.
and I don't blame you.
I'm not asking her to say a word.
No,
I don't want her involved.
nope, she shouldn't be.
But I,
You and I both know who asked me to go.
well, I'm asking a question. Why do you feel the need to ask that when we had already appropriated funds and this council made?
They were
some-
offering. What do I say besides thank you? What do I say besides thank you? It was that simple of a process, Gary. You just have to say thank you. When I called you on the phone and told you about it, you were so excited and said, great, now we
You
can
called
go
me on the
on.
phone and said, they offered. You didn't say, I asked them, you said, they offered. That's two different words.
Asked what they could do. I said, we're trying to get pickleball courts and the shelter we need to have put back up. Nobody said anything at that meeting. They didn't tell us okay at that meeting. Marcy said, I love pickleball. I hope to get to the Civil War reenactment. And then they left. And then all I know is we get a phone call saying, hey, we're gonna do some pickleball courts in the shelter. And then Brandon said, hey, we have the leftover material from the shelter that was taken down. You can use it. No, we wanna do this all new. I feel you and I have both done something together that we probably shouldn't have done. We should have brought it to council, both of us.
I'm not saying I shouldn't have, but that is why I addressed the town manager, who we pay to run this town and make decisions for this town.
Exactly.
And not the mayor to make
No.
decisions for this town.
And the mayor didn't make a decision.
Because the mayor's role in this town is not unilateral. The mayor's role is to be the ceremonial officer for the council.
So when I get a call from the salt plant saying, hey, we wanna do these 2 things for you, should I from now on say, hold on, I need you to come to council meeting?
Yeah, I think so.
Great. I do apologize for just saying thank you and then calling you all to let you know what happened.
I just think the phone calls I get.
I didn't make the phone call. They called us.
That's all I got.
Okay. Would anybody else like to add to that? All right, thank you. Ordinances and Land Management Committee, Councilman Comer.
We met this past Friday. We continue to review our ordinances. I think tonight, should be close to the culmination of one of the big ordinances that we worked on, so we're gonna hear from, Paul shortly, so I'll just defer to Paul when we get there.
Okay. Next up is Public Safety Committee.
Okay. Our July 14th meeting happened after the July council meeting. and we've had 2 meetings since then, so I'll try to condense this as best I can. The installation of Knox boxes for the 4 schools on our side of the mountain actually transitioned to fobs that activate the call boxes. And Chief Lynch picked those up. They were delivered by Tony Powers, who was the captain over school resource officers. And Chief Lynch is familiar with these 2 buildings, so he and I went to Rich Valley and introduced him to the principal at Northwood Middle, Karen Clubb, and we had a lengthy discussion with the resource officer there, James McLaughlin, and he got a pretty good idea of the layout of the building where call boxes are. And unfortunately, he got a fire call while we were there, so we went through the parking lot at Rich Valley Elementary, and I did describe those locations because our police department, if something happens, God forbid, at those 4 buildings, they will be the first responders that will be able to be there. And they've got to have access to the building. At our July 14th meeting, Peyton Lynch gave an update on the kids camp, which was way back in early July. They had 86 participants. Chief Lynch said that the tanker truck and the engine had already been repaired at that time. There will be a meeting tomorrow of some Smith County and Wood County officials, as well as Chief Lynch with Enbridge, to discuss their emergency review plan, and that will take place at 10 o'clock. At the July meeting, the Public Safety Committee, we absorbed the functions of the Emergency Communications Committee, and I'll skip forward. At our last meeting, which was last night, we created 2 subcommittees. One to outline the functions of the Emergency Communications Committee, what we need to do in order to meet those requirements or meet those specifications. And another subcommittee was created to study, we're having the 2 walking trails mapped, correct? Amanda Livingston is working on the mapping, correct? And so what we did was created 2 subcommittees in order to see where it would be most feasible to place markers, location